Welcome to Connecticut Insight. Thanks so much to all of you for being here. Coming up, great holiday recipes, the news, and what the weather has in store for you. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to Connecticut Insight, presented by WCSU News. I am your host, Sequoia Lowe. Today we are examining a variety of news topics, including climate migration, and everyone's talking about healthcare, and so will we. December entered with some snow, and for some, a blizzard with work and school closings. Zack Duhaime, WCSU student meteorologist, has been keeping an eye on the weather for us. Hey, Zack.
Sequoia, what's up? How have you been?
What's going on? Thanks for coming on.
Anytime. My question, did you enjoy that snow day we had?
Big fan. Loved it.
Extended the Thanksgiving break, something we don't see too often around here in Connecticut.
Yeah, loved it. So what's the latest on our weather?
Well, we have a lot to discuss over the next couple of minutes here. We're talking about a lot of forecasting for the winter. So let me ask you guys, how many guys like winter in the audience right here? Oh, not bad, not bad. How many like summer? I got bad news. It's meteorological winter. Sorry. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but that's what we're talking about today, the winter forecast, a white Christmas, and also we have some new technology in Connecticut to keep us safe on the roads. New weather stations have been installed, about 40 of them across Connecticut highways. That's very important to keeping our roads safe this holiday season. So let's take a look at that graphic. The next map's going to show you what I'm talking about. It looks kind of weird. It looks kind of like a spider on the top of this thing. It's a big pole. If you're driving along, I believe I-84, I-95, and 91, you're going to see these periodically, and they're actually sonic weather stations. Basically, long story short, the rain, temperatures, they all kind of fall in between these kind of parameters, these 2 points, and they measure an instantaneous time, I should say. They measure all the data we need. So versus a weather station that would freeze in freezing rain, like the anemometer with the wind would spin, eventually it could freeze during freezing rain, and then it would cause issues. It would not gather data. This will never freeze. It will never overheat. This thing is state-of-the-art, new technology we're talking about, so that's good news. We got a nice grant across the state of Connecticut. Also, part of this grant, the next map will show you the road temperature gauge. So they're going to be putting these in the highways across parts of the state. So temperatures that are below freezing will be recorded by this device, and then the device goes back into these. Actually go right into the DOT trucks, so the plow drivers that are driving the trucks can see these, see the temperatures, and know when to apply the salt. So this is very good news to keep us safe on the roads across this winter season. Plenty of winter to come, so this is good news to keep everyone safe and sound, and the plow drivers ahead of the storm and not behind the storm with the technology. Now, the next map is going to show you the average probability of white Christmas. How many of you guys want snow on Christmas? I mean, who doesn't want snow on Christmas? Let's be honest. I mean, come on, right? But if you're in Florida, unfortunately, you're not going to get snow on Christmas. It's just not going to happen. But if you're around here, there's a better shot. The next map is going to show you a closer view of what we're expecting across the Northeast. So this is your average probability of a white Christmas across Connecticut and northeastern United States. Connecticut, you can see right there, Danbury, right about there. We're talking about a 40 to 60% chance of seeing a white Christmas. Not too bad, but unfortunately, south towards New Haven and let's say New York City, it goes less and less, from 20 to 40% chance, and then less than 20% chance. But this is a little bit confusing. Let me back it up a little bit. This is indicating snow on the ground, so having snow coverage on the ground for Christmas Day, but this does not include that chance that it could actually be snowing on Christmas. That percent is even a lot less than this, probably maybe a third less than this right here, but it's possible. If you remember back to last year, we actually had snow on Christmas Eve, so it was quite festive last year. Never know, it could happen again. Now let's end with the winter forecast. Now everyone's wondering what's going to happen in the next map. So what's the forecast for this upcoming winter? Right now, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Scientists, NOAA right here, is predicting a warmer than average winter across much of the northern tier, including us in Connecticut, with about 33% chance of about above average temperatures. Now, this doesn't mean it's going to be 80 degrees during the winter. It's just saying that the average temperature, let's say, is going to be 41 degrees and maybe 42 for the winter. So just a little bit above average. We're still expecting plenty of cold spells and some warm spells, but overall, add everything together, looking like above average temperatures. Now for the precipitation outlook, the next map, look at that, guys. Maybe more snow. You guys want more snow? Now, it's also including some rain, so we're not certain how much snow or rain we're going to get, but we're thinking that we're going to get above average precipitation. So we're going to call it precipitation, not just snow and rain, all that kind of combined. That's what we're looking at the upcoming winter. And the next map, the last important map I'm going to show you right here, is the upcoming jet stream forecast. The next map will indicate what may happen. So we're kind of in the battleground. This is not where you want to be in a lot of Connecticut. It makes forecasting very difficult because you have the warm air down to the south, the cold air to the north. We're kind of right in that battle line. So if you get the jet stream to move a little bit further north, we could be talking about more rain or mixed events. If the colder air works out, you guys want that snowstorm, right? You guys want it? Yeah. Well, for that snowstorm to work, you're going to want this kind of to sit down the south just like that, bring the cold air in, get a storm, and there we go with the big snow events across Connecticut. So we'll have updates later on about the winter forecast. We're going to send it back over to Seiko on the desk, on the green screen. Sorry.
Hey, thanks so much, Zach. Who thinks Zach is doing an awesome job? The weather affects each of us every day, and when the weather becomes dangerous, it drives mass migration across the globe. Let's take a look at this story from Election Connection.
We all seem to be aware of the effects of climate change with weather patterns taking place all around us. However, very few of the billions of people on our globe are aware of the underlying effects, the changes in human migration patterns, too, that are taking place. This global and local issue has been coined climigration. According to National Geographic, climate change is the long-term alteration of temperature and normal weather patterns in a place, in which these alterations have been said to displace 143 million climate migrants by the year 2050.
Climate change is everything change. And so it's going, those buildup of heat in the atmosphere is going to lead to melting ice, to rising sea levels, to changes in the speed and the strength of hurricanes. And it's going to make dry places drier and wet places wetter. And those people who live in those wet and dry places are going to, some of them, get up and leave.
Outside of the States, this everything change has been wreaking havoc on communities throughout the developing world, such as in Latin America, Sub-Saharan Africa, and South Asia. One of the most affected nations facing this pressure world issue is Bangladesh over the last decade, where the Environmental Justice Foundation has recorded between 1,000 to 2,000 people moving to the Bangladeshi capital every day due to climate-induced displacement, and the migration is only increasing over the years.
Just a couple months back, I was in Bangladesh near the coastal area. So, along the coast is population is declining. So if you look at the country Bangladesh, for example, population is increasing, but it's only the place which is very near to the coast, population is declining, which indicates that people are moving out of those places.
Speaking of impact along coastlines, right here in the tri-state area, coastal communities have been confronting the aftermath of major storms like in New York City with Hurricane Sandy in 2012. According to the New Republic, it wasn't the water or the winds that pushed them out, but the storm's economic setbacks. It's an economic retreat. Although the consequences haven't affected us directly, this economic downfall, amongst others, will only lead to further migration, ultimately causing migration from one of the most economically thriving urban centers in the states to surrounding suburbs, like here in Danbury, Connecticut.
First thing you can do is vote for people who accept science. The other thing is self-educate. I'm a professor, I'm an educator. I spend much of my waking hours trying to figure out how to explain this stuff to students because it's your world. You have the most to use.
My best friend since childhood.
My mother.
My child.
She was 26 years old.
82 years old.
I was 25 when I killed my best friend.
I was 56 years old when I killed my mother in a drunk driving accident.
I was 35 when I killed my child.
Please drink responsibly and drive sober. Don't let the people you love become another statistic.
Give a dog a bone, give a dog a home, give a dog a bone, give a dog a home.
Yo, my name is Ali and I need a home. Please give me a backyard with grass and trees for me to roam. I like hole digging, water drinking, and cow sitting. My favorite dog toy is a Hillary Clinton. So on behalf of all dogs, if y'all could help us, it's about 4 million dogs in animal shelters. So stay away from your pet shop, son. You could save a life if you adopt one.
Next up is the topic of healthcare. For years now, our country has been deep in debate about how we can best provide world-class medical services for our citizens. Let's take a look at this from Election Connection.
healthcare is one of the leading topics of discussion in politics today. Between current running presidential candidates, some favor a public option healthcare system, whereas others support a universal single-payer healthcare system, something our neighboring country of Canada and many European countries use today. During the second Democratic presidential debate, candidates expressed their opinions on healthcare systems.
People don't like their private insurance companies. Under our plan, people go to any doctor they want, any hospital they want.
And I feel very strongly that families ought to be able to have this choice.
Quickest, fastest way to do it is build on Obamacare.
I believe we need to get to universal health care as a right and not a privilege to single payer.
The United States has many healthcare plans and insurances, with 91.2% of Americans having health insurance coverage. However, due to inefficiency, administrative costs in the United States account for around 8% of overall healthcare costs. In other developed countries, the average is between 1% and 3%. For those who may not know, in a single-payer healthcare system, rather than multiple competing health insurance companies, everyone has health coverage under a single health insurance plan, with access to necessary services. To get a better idea of people's thoughts and concerns of a universal single-payer healthcare system, we interviewed Dr. Edwin Wong, a professor at Western Connecticut State University, for his thoughts.
Certainly one of the pros, of course, is that costs will be under control, because right now we know that costs are completely out of control with regards to health care. Pharmaceutical companies are price gouging, which is a scandal in itself.
The United States could save $175 billion in health care by cutting in half administrative costs. Not to mention, in 2017, 1.4 million Americans went overseas for medical care to get a better deal.
One of the downsides goes back to cost again. If the average consumer is not bearing the burden of most of the insurance premiums, although we will pay a little bit of it, that means the government will, and that means that we will have to pay, our taxes will go up as a result of that.
According to Harvard Health Publishing at Harvard Medical School, single payer will not ease the constant tension of balancing access, quality, and cost in healthcare. For instance, some Canadian provinces spend 40% of their budget on healthcare, which reduces funding for other programs like education and infrastructure.
She wants to go to a single payer plan, which would be a disaster. Somewhat similar to Canada. Their system is so slow, it's catastrophic in certain ways. The government basically rules everything.
Healthcare will continue to be a hot topic of discussion throughout the remaining presidential debates. How candidates plan on implementing and funding a universal system that is run efficiently remains to be seen. This is WCSU News coverage. Stay healthy and stay safe.
There's no doubt that healthcare is a crucial issue, and I'm hopeful that we'll find a solution that works for everyone. Next up is a special look at Deborah Freeman and her business, OEP Soapery. Deborah has been working magic to offer unique products that you won't find anywhere else in town. She offers a variety of handmade soaps, both in bar and liquid form, but that's just the beginning. OEP Soapery also provides an assortment of towels, shower steamer discs, aromatic reed diffusers, and more. And the best part is that every product is vegan. Deborah Freeman has built a beautiful local business that is easy to love. After the break, we have a look at some of our favorite recipes with Xavier, Sydney, and Kevin.
Your sneeze produces 5,000 bacteria-filled droplets, and they can travel 10 feet. So sneeze into your sleeve, and you'll reduce the spread of infection. Get the facts. It's good for you, Connecticut. It's good for all of us.
About half the people using public restrooms don't wash their hands. But it's the most effective way to prevent infection. It's simple. Just wash your hands. Get the facts. It's good for you, Connecticut. It's good for all of us.
Happy holidays, everybody. Happy holidays. And we know what's better than filling the holiday season?
tasting the holiday season. Could you get us started, Sydney?
Yeah, of course. So here we have chocolate peppermint whoopie pies.
Whoopie!
These are so delicious, guys. What's best about these is that they have a cream cheese frosting filling.
Wow.
Yes.
That's different.
Cream cheese, that is different. I'm not really a fan of cream cheese, but I'm excited to try these.
Yeah.
Okay, so
All right.
are we going to get up on this right now?
Mm-hmm.
Now, will this make me say whoopee after I get a bite of this?
I hope so.
Please do the honors.
All right.
You know, the smell of this just brings back all the memories from Christmas. Wait, do you guys have any favorite memories from
my
Christmas?
mom and me make these every Christmas Eve. My family has a Christmas Eve party, and it's the best.
Oh my gosh. I'm
we go.
excited. I wish my mom made these.
I'm going to drop the bit right there. There's layers to this. I just got the second layer.
Ooh, I better get that first bite right now.
Now, wait, I just wanted to say, I don't usually like mint and chocolate together. I usually keep them segregated. But this right here, this matrimony of peppermint and chocolate with these whoopie cream cheese pies is amazing.
I know, it's a great combination.
Oh yeah, I'm going to grab another bite right now.
You got to make sure the audience gets some of this, huh, audience?
Absolutely. Well, honestly, you know, I was thinking about memories, and everyone has like these great memories of Christmas, right?
Yeah,
you know, Christmas is just the happiest time of the year. But I have one really bad memory that has stuck with me ever since I was a little kid. And when I was a little kid, I mean, who here loves Santa Claus?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Everybody loves Santa Claus. I did not. I did not like Santa Claus, and I'll tell you why. Because when I was about like 8 years old, one of my mom's friends came over with her husband, and he dressed up as Santa Claus.
Oh boy!
And you know, it was supposed to be nice for me and my little brother to like see Santa Claus. Yeah, this guy, he ran through my backyard and started knocking on windows. I got so scared when he walked in. I hated Santa Claus for the next year. It was awful.
He ran through the backyard. We're talking about Santa Claus or the Grinch.
Yeah, because well, you see, the thing is, we didn't have a chimney, so he had to come through the back door.
Oh my God.
But yeah, well, oh man. Well, I'm glad you like that story. And so my favorite holiday treat is these Snickerdoodle cookies. And I know, yeah, I know. These cookies, my favorite thing about them is just the smell and the softness
Cinnamon.
of these cookies. And like cinnamon is such a Christmas,
essential.
it's a Christmas necessity. So to make these is pretty simple. It's just, you know, white sugar, brown sugar, cinnamon, and
white and brown sugar. The best
it's a best of both sugars. And you know, I actually cook these, and I like to bake these actually like underbaked, so that they're a little soft, right? So you guys can try them right now.
Oh, don't mind if I do. I almost grabbed them without permission.
Well, go ahead.
Cheers to
Just
that.
tell me what you think. Cheers to the cookies.
Oh wow. Oh, that's like a Christmas story in my mouth. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
The BB gun's there. It's like I'm licking the frozen pole. Oh my goodness.
So good, the cinnamon.
Oh, you know, this is something that could be complimented. I want to dip this in a cup of coquito. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Absolutely. So what I'm preparing for you today, I have some non-alcoholic right here. We already whipped up a non-alcoholic batch in advance. This is coquito. That translates from Spanish to little coconut. Now, while I get this ready, I can recall a couple memories myself from Christmas. I remember my Uncle Calvin was throwing a Christmas party at his house one time, and I was nothing more than 6 years old. I'm surprised I can remember this right now. And I was taking laps around his house. There was a Christmas tree decorated with all types of candy canes, the peppermint. We had the fruity ones. The licorice. Look, I don't like licorice though. But every time I took a lap around his house, I took one candy cane off.
Oh, really?
Every lap I took.
Little thief.
Oh man. What about you, Sydney?
Honestly, it's just my family's Christmas Eve party. It's just the best day of the whole year. Honestly, I like it better than Christmas because I get to be with all my cousins on Christmas Eve. So
folks, what we have here is Super Chef Sexy X's coquito recipe. This is my very own recipe. I've been perfecting it for over 18 months. More than happy to name it. This over here too, we're gonna pour that right in. More cognac the merrier, right? We have our cinnamon. I'm gonna add these both. I want to keep you folks waiting. Does anyone want to give me a hand, actually?
Yes.
Sydney, would you mind pouring in some cinnamon? And Kev, would you be able to grab the vanilla? What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get these. Honestly, this is something I didn't measure in the recipe. Use it sparingly. Use it sparingly. Imagine the amount of cinnamon you want to taste in your beverage. And let me grab some eggs while you both do this. I'm gonna let you come this way, Sid.
Okay.
You want to go first?
You can go first.
All right, let's just do it together.
All right.
Teamwork.
I think I'm gonna do
A little bit more vanilla. Now, what you do for your eggs, this isn't just cracking eggs in here, folks. We're using the egg yolks. We're using the egg yolks. So what I'm going to do here is separate the yolk from the white right here in this can. Easy process. You keep both halves of the shell intact. And you kind of just, whoop, see daisy. Whoop, see daisy. I'm going to carry this over to our mixture. Splash. We're going to do that about one more time, folks. Now, I'm wondering, do we have an audience with a lot of Christmas cheer in here? Not just Christmas cheer because it's the holidays. You know, we're inclusive. I'm talking Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. Absolutely. I plan on going to Rockefeller this winter, folks. I want to see the big tree.
Absolutely. That's my favorite part.
That's your favorite?
You know, I'm from New York, so that's my favorite time.
You were telling me
of the year.
Booster,
So
right?
yeah. Oh man. I think it just got a little hotter in here. I felt the heat.
Now, this is how I know I've got experience making this concoction. It wasn't enough nutmeg, and I knew it right off the top of my head. Now, let's get this mixed up. I don't want to keep you good folks waiting any longer. We have our vanilla, our 2 egg yolks, nutmeg, cinnamon, coconut milk, condensed milk. What am I missing? Because this is the strong batch. And folks, the last ingredient, love. Believe it or not, I was gifted this blender last Christmas. Never used it before until now. Today's that day. Coquito. Now, folks, do me a solid if you make some noise if you tasted a non-alcoholic batch. Because we do it the right way over here.
Absolutely. Ooh, that looks rich. Wow.
Oh, yes. Rich is the word. Rich is the word we're going to use for this. Let me start pouring up because...
Yeah, I'll help you out.
Actually, you want to take this cup, Sid? That one for me. Ladies first.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ooh.
Wow. Oh, man. Oh, thanks.
Cheers
Give me a little
to that,
extra
folks.
right
We
there.
got some
Cheers.
coquito on us.
And cheers with you. Coquito.
Let's drink.
Wow.
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 Wowzers.
Wow. Oh, man.
And you know what? I wanted to take some advice. I heard somebody from the audience say I need to dip one of these bad boys in some of this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is all I wanted for Christmas.
This has to be the best. This has to be the best coquito I've ever tried.
So good.
Honestly.
Oh my God, folks. Well,
Oh, man.
well, I wanna go ahead and sit down in this snickerdoodle. I'm so overwhelmed with all these treats. So, folks, this is how you make the holidays taste like love.
The fall semester at WestCon is coming to a close, but things are heating up for the WestCon women's basketball team. They're gearing up for the annual Hat City Tournament. They have several games lined up across the 29th and 30th of December, the first of which pits them against SUNY Delhi. We wish our team the very best in demonstrating why WestCon is BestCon.
want to go to school. When I grow up, I want to be a teacher. I want to be Iron Man. When I grow up, I want to be happy. When I grow up, I want to have a home.
Aurora prides itself on keeping up best practices with medicine as well as sanitary procedures throughout the shelter. Should you come and visit, you will notice it doesn't smell like an animal rescue, and that's very important to us. We want everyone's experience to be a positive and wonderful time here.
Those of you who were here for our holiday segment, including our live audience, got a taste of some great holiday recipes. Let's recap those ingredients for those who missed it. So first of all, we've got the chocolate peppermint whoopie pies. I'm going to take you through some of the key ingredients that make it extra tasty. So for the cake itself, you've got the cocoa powder, the kosher salt, the baking powder, the large egg, buttermilk, and vanilla extract makes it really tasty. And for the cream cheese, the secret ingredient is definitely the crushed candy cane and peppermint candies, as well as confectioner's sugar and vanilla extract. Now, for the coquito recipe, we're giving you the full list. So first of all, we've got 28 ounces of coconut milk, 14 ounces of condensed milk, 2 egg yolks, vanilla to taste, nutmeg to taste, cinnamon to taste, and love. All right, now we've got a weather update for you from Zach.
Yeah, guys, what have you made over there? It's fantastic. So, round of applause to you guys back there. Very good, very good. Save some coquito for me. Save the drink, though. I need some of that drink after this. It's been a long day, right? Well, let's wrap this show up. So, we're talking about the weather topics for today, winter weather. So, Connecticut got a grant. We have 40 brand new high-tech, state-of-the-art weather stations to keep you guys safe all winter long. They're measuring road temperatures, they're measuring air temperatures. They're even telling the plow trucks individually where they need salt. So if your plow truck, let's say 35, they're going to say, hey, beep, beep, we need more salt on Route 34 near Derby. So it's very isolated, located stuff we need to keep our roads safe. Also, we're talking about white Christmas chances. Relatively low across Connecticut, between about 40 and 50% chance. But this year, active storm track could mean more snow chances. And how about that winter outlook? Overall, pretty much warmer than average, but could be some storms. We're going to bring back Sequoia to wrap this show up. Let's go.
Thanks for the info, Zach. That concludes Connecticut Insight for tonight. Thanks to you for watching. Stay safe, and from all of us at Connecticut Insight and Election Connection, happy holidays.